everyone, my name is Matthias. I'm a promoter here at the Be Elite podcast, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Take it away, Mr. Smith.
Thank you. Hey, hello, everybody. Yes, welcome to the Be Elite podcast. It is a student-driven podcast here for Elite Academic Academy. Today's a little different. I'm going to be doing all the interviewing, and I'm going to be talking to our wonderful students about a portrait of an elite student. So I love to gain insight about our students and what they do and how they, thrive and what they want to see here at the school. So being that this podcast is student made and student driven, I really felt like they needed to be the focus today. So I want to start with first, if everybody can go around, introduce yourself with your name and what program are you in here at Elite? Are you in homeschool, virtual, or flex? I'll go ahead and I'll name off people. So first we're going to start in the order I see. Natalia, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Natalia, and I'm 10th grade, and I'm in virtual right now.
Awesome, thank you. Next up, we have Matthias.
Hello, my name is Matthias, and I'm in flex here at Elite.
Thank you. Katarina, you are next.
My name's Katarina, and I'm in 6th grade, and I'm in flex.
Thank you. Next up, a student I've had in a lot of classes, Tiana, go right ahead.
Hello, my name is Tiana. I'm in flex.
Thank you. All right, Dom, you are up.
My name is Dom. I'm in 5th grade and I'm in flex.
Thank you. Next up, our podcast lead, Cindy Lou.
Oh, for a second, I was like, "Who's the podcast lead?" Until you said my name. But well, my name is Cindy Lou, and I am in 11th grade. I think I'm the oldest here. I'm getting pretty old. So, and then I'm in virtual.
Virtual, great, thank you. Next up, Xavier.
My name is Xavier. I'm in 8th grade, and I do flex.
Thank you. Angelina.
Oh, she said in the chat that she's going to just listen.
You got it. Well, Angelina's been a long time podcaster, so please feel free to also chat in the chat, Angelina. We'll read your comments out loud. Armando, you're up.
The best for last, huh? I'm Armando Fernandez. Armando Napoleon Fernandez. And I am in virtual.
Thank you. And you're second to last, because last up we have Daphne. And feel free to use the chat too if you'd like. Just let us know your name, grade, and what program you're in. In the chat, she's just like, oh. What program are you in, Daphne? Thumbs up. There we go. Daphne's in 10th grade and in virtual. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So here at Elite, we do have 3 distinct programs. It's so cool to see we have such a nice blend of those programs here on the podcast. Next up, I would like to ask, and I'm just going to open up this question to everybody. Feel free to jump in. I'm not going to call on you. Like, don't feel any pressure. So what does your day look like a regular weekday? What does the day look like for you as an Elite student?
When my day starts out, I usually I wake up, I struggle to get out of bed. I feel dazed. I feel like I'm like I'm still dreaming. Then after about 10 minutes, that goes away, and then I can finally focus on my work. I get some meetings done. I do some homework online. I do some math. I usually go out once a day or like on a drive or something. That wasn't always like that. I used to just sit inside all day and just all day behind the computer. But I've gotten used to having a schedule, and so now I'm a lot more organized.
No, that's great. Thank you. And Natalia put in the chat that she'd love to go next.
So what a regular school day looks for me is it's very hard for me to wake up. I'm usually getting up around, well, I get terrible sleep sometimes, so it's around 7 or 8. But then I just want to lay in bed for a long time. And I finally get up and take a while, eat breakfast, and then I let my sister get up and we do school together. She usually does it from the get-go, but I don't think I could do that. It's very hard for me to do that. And then I'm just doing school throughout the day, going on live sessions and other things. And then eventually I finish and I just do my normal activities like video games or TV or something.
I like it. You have your nice routine in there, you have school in there, and then you have your fun stuff at the end. I like that. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, we have the chat blowing up with people that want to go. So next up is Katarina. Katarina, you're up.
Okay, so I wake up, and then after I wake up, I get myself ready, and then I go downstairs and I eat my breakfast. And I forgot to mention I'm an early bird, so I wake up really early in the morning before my whole family. And then once I'm done eating breakfast, I refill my water, and then I do my schoolwork. And then I do my live sessions, and after I'm done with my schoolwork, I just read. So that's it.
That's cool. So reading something you really take joy in? It's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Xavier, you are up.
So the first thing I do, of course, is wake up, or at least try. I do my thing, use the restroom, brush my teeth, take a shower, whatever. I eat breakfast, and then I come onto my live classes. I do some schoolwork, and then the rest of the day I have off, and I do like basketball. I just like playing video games too, watch TV. Sometimes I have drum lessons and basketball lessons, but yeah, that's pretty much my day.
I like it. Thank you. Matthias, you're up.
Normally when I wake up, the first thing that I want to do is like start watching TV. But after I do that, then I like do everything. I eat breakfast and I take a shower. And then like, I go on to my classes, do my work. Then after that, I just play the game.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Anybody else want to go? Oh, okay. Go ahead, Cindy Lou.
Okay, so well, I hear a lot of people have trouble with sleeping and waking up in the morning. I totally get that. Sometimes I wake up and I feel like I got hit by a truck. I was like, oh, that wasn't a nice sleep. But usually what I do is when I get up, I just check my email, like in bed still, like for a while, just checking my email and going through things, responding to some emails, and then probably after that, like an hour later, then I'll start going to meetings. Still in bed. And depending on how I'm feeling, I would do my meetings in bed because like I can. So, and then after all my meetings, so I always do all my meetings first, and that usually takes till like 4 to 5, and then I start my schoolwork, and then I just do my schoolwork to like go to sleep most likely.
Very cool. Thank you. Thank you. Tiana, you're next.
Oh, what I do, I usually do my homework until nighttime, so until I finish like all of my homeworks and stuff. I don't have time to do except the weekends I have time to do like my own projects if I have time, drawing, sketching, reading a book sometimes for English. Yeah, that's basically it. But I play a lot of games.
No, I like it. And I like that you're all different because we have some early birds here, which I think is fantastic. We have some night owls. That was me back in high school and college. Night owl, like I would stay up so late just working on stuff because that's when my mind is the most alert. So thank you all for that. Next up, again, feel free to just jump into the conversation. What skills do you use on a weekly basis here at Elite for your courses and clubs? Just throw out some skills.
Definitely navigating the internet. Like I have a science project that's due. I have to go, I have to research certain things, I have to research whatever scientific term that I need to use in the project or whatever kind of information that I need to put in there. Then I need to cite my sources. Today I also wrote an argumentative essay. And then I usually do one skill that I usually use a lot is time management. Like having a certain amount of time set for each thing and try to like keep track of that schedule. And there's definitely certain ways where technology helps. Like on Zoom, there's a setting where you could go and you can make it so it sets up a notification. Oh yeah, you got this meeting in 5 minutes or 4 minutes, or the meeting's starting right now. You could, and it's really easy because then you just, oh, thanks. And I click join and boom, I'm in the meeting. Now, as long as I keep Zoom open, I'm never late for a meeting or a class.
I
Um,
like that.
I also, one skill that I really use like almost all the time is definitely staying focused because it's hard to like do work and like be distracted. Like when I try to like, I mean, it's a computer. Everything's on the computer. You got the internet, you got certain websites you could go to. You could play games on your computer, you could look at videos. But one thing, you just got to stay focused. I think that's probably the hardest part.
Right. And I got some big takeaways right there from you, because I think a lot of those are super important for late. It's, navigating the internet to get the resources you need, staying organized, and you gave some really good ideas on that. But staying focused, I think, is one I think we're going to see across the board. It's so hard, right? We can jump onto social media, we could put a movie on, and then all of a sudden we're not doing our work anymore. All right. So we have a few people ready to go. Natalia, go for it.
I think some skills that I use on a day-to-day basis for just school and clubs is probably reaching out to people and just writing. Because like if it's something I really like writing about, then I put my full focus onto it. Like there's one assignment I had about like a hero's journey, and I'm like going into exquisite detail about it. And with the contacting, I just like reaching out if we're like talking about an event that's part of what I like reaching out and talking about it.
That's fantastic. I love Lisa Hero's Journey too. That's one of my favorite books. But yeah, absolutely. That's an important skill, to be able to reach out and ask for assistance, ask for clarification. And that skill is going to take you far, because when you get into college, I tell all the high school students and middle school, all students, there's no such thing as a stupid question. That's what I did when I was in school. I asked so many questions, because as an educator, I can tell you, we don't mind. We want to help. We want to help you clarify things. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much. Xavier is up next. Go for it.
Some skills that I use in Elite, I have some leadership and teamwork skills, and I use that in student council. I have some tech and like design skills, which is why I'm the graphic designer here in podcast. That's really it. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Thank you. We got Cash coming up next. Well, Dom.
Mine would be like just being able to like get ahead, because like right now I am ahead, and like whenever I have to go to a field trip or anything, I don't have to work all night because I'm already ahead. So the other stuff would be like I don't really have to ask for help to know how to use a new website. Like I know a lot of icons and everything, so I can pretty much figure it out in like 10 minutes. And yeah, that's about it.
I love that, the tech savviness of it, and you're learning by experience. That's the way I learned, how to navigate the internet when it was, when I got old enough. It was just playing around with it. I ended up like screwing up the computer lab at my school because I didn't know what I was doing, but I learned eventually, so it was awesome. Thank you, Dom. Matthias, you are next.
I use creative writing in my like language arts and English class. I've found a passion about authorism, and it's just really fun creating books and stuff. I also use like I have a lot of social skills. I'm good at talking to people. That's why I'm a promoter here. It's like really fun talking to people, listening to their conversations, getting to know them. So yeah, that's basically what I use.
And I think I mentioned this back when I first met you on the podcast. You have very strong interpersonal skills. You can start a conversation with anybody, and that's a skill that I think will take you very far. You can use that across the board in any career sector you decide. So thank you for sharing. Katarina, you are next.
Oh, could I just interject for one thing about?
Yeah.
Sorry, but about the creative writing, since you do enjoy, there is a creative writing club, so you can go and you can show your writing if you want to.
Very true. It's all on Parrot Square. Thank you. All right, Katarina, you are next.
So some skills that I use in school on a daily basis is I ask questions, like you said before, because you can never ask too many questions. And I also listen to what my teachers are saying. So it can help me a lot with my schoolwork and just life in general.
You know, I haven't heard that one before. And that's one thing that I pride myself with, especially as a student. Active listening. Active listening is so important because sometimes we're listening just for the fact that we want to respond. But if we're actually taking in the information, the responses come natural. So that's a really big skill that you have there. And yeah, it's going to take you very far in this life. All right. Still talking about skills. Think about your time at Elite. Oh, go ahead. Somebody else want to go?
Oh, I just wanted to go.
Yeah.
Well, I think like what you were talking about going on like with listening, I think sometimes like with certain clubs, there's always nicer to just instead of doing the talking, you just listen. Like I really like that with the esports club because for gaming, I like to game and I like gaming, but I don't really talk about it. So I enjoy like, just being like in the environment and listening. But then I'm afraid to join because then like I'm not participating in anything and just listening. But I really do enjoy it. But about skills, probably communication, since I do use that a lot with like my club meetings and all my Zoom meetings. I do need to talk quite a bit, and probably leadership as well, since I do lead a couple clubs, and so I'm used to doing it. Well, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think for you, leadership is one of the big ones because you're one of the first leaders here for the podcast. And I've seen you grow into, yeah, an amazing student leader who at the very beginning was very unsure if she wanted to give this a shot and if she even deserved to be there. And that changed big time. So those are awesome examples. Thank you. Matthias, you wanted to go on, you want to say something?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like the next question.
Oh, yeah. So let me tell you what the next one is, and then you can go ahead and jump in first, Matthias. So, what skills have you acquired here at Elite, Matthias?
I think patience. Like you were saying earlier, normally I just listen to respond. Conversations with me are most likely going to be one-sided because I want you to hear my side of the story before I hear anything else you have to say. And I feel like that's changed since I've been at Elite because now I have patience. I wait. I wait. I want to hear what you have to say. Then I'll respond in a respectable manner.
And you know, to me, that's such an awesome thing on self-reflection because to realize that and to be like, well, yeah, this is who I am, and there's nothing wrong with how you are. But it's really cool that you're recognizing that and you're able to say that patience is something that I've picked up. So thank you for that. Thank you. All right. Next up, we have Katarina.
So what I feel, what I gained from Elite is I feel like I've gained a lot of confidence, especially from this podcast club, because I've been really shy at first, but now I feel more open. And I also feel like I've gained a lot of knowledge at Elite from my schoolwork and just from going to my Zooms. So, yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and I really think that being in clubs, it really does help with the confidence because it comes with just interacting with your peers. you know, we give you the opportunity, and you have grown leaps and bounds since I first met you here on the podcast. So that's an awesome example. Thank you. Dom, you are up next.
I've definitely learned to be more patient. There's some things I just couldn't wait for, but I've learned to. I don't know if this counts as a skill, but I'm like way better at math than I used to be. I know a lot
Oh,
more
yeah.
things and it's easier to understand. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's a big time skill. Oh man, that's a big one. Thank you for that. All right, Natalia.
All right. I've definitely learned a lot of skills at Elite. I think English might be the one I learned from the most because now I know about a bunch of myths, mythologies, and just general writing skills. Like I've never thought I'd be writing like a author. Like there's, like I was talking about earlier, I was writing about the hero's journey. I'm like, did a ghost possess me and like write this for me? It's crazy. And history too, like with last semester with the whole monarchy with kings and everything, it definitely stuck to my mind.
No, that's awesome that, you know, your writing is just, you know, improving and growing at such levels. Like you said, like you look at it and you're like, well, did I write that? Like that's fantastic, because that just means you're doing something you're super passionate about, and it doesn't feel like schoolwork then. You know, it just feels fun. I'm a big time writer, so I know how that is. You get into the zone, and then before you know it, you're like 22 pages in. You're like, whoa, like what happened there? Thank you for sharing that. All right, we have Xavier. Xavier next. Go for it.
I have definitely gained a lot of confidence since I've been elite. Like literally yesterday, I went to this Mass Singer event, and I was confident enough to go up on stage and do like a little dance battle. And I think I won, maybe. I mean, I got the most like cheers, I guess. But yeah, I've gained a lot more confidence, and I've been able to focus more just because like I've been able to make a schedule and just do my own thing. And I'd be like, okay, even though I have a computer right in front of me, I can't go on YouTube and just scroll down the infinity of videos. You know, I have to do my schoolwork, and yeah, I've got the ability to focus. Like I've gotten to that.
That's fantastic. And yeah, I've seen you definitely grow with your confidence level. Universal field trip, and then what I've heard from the Mass Singer field trip. Yes, that's fantastic. All right, Tiana, go for it.
What I gained was the knowledge of other people and like learning more stuff. I think I've also gained was not being shy in front of people. um, but I still get shy overall.
Yep, you're one that I'm constantly like, Tiana, I know your camera works. Why isn't your camera on? But you have grown leaps and bounds on that, Tiana. I've had you in quite a few of my classes. And let me tell you, there's been times when nobody else showed up, but Tiana was right there. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that you're, you know, that confidence is, and the ability to break out of the shyness is there. Cindy, Lou, go ahead.
Well, going on with Tiana, she's always there. Of course, it's amazing. She's always there at the clubs also. Like you, like, 'cause, like I tell her about a club I'm making. She's like, "Oh, I'll be there." And she is there, and she stays there. She's still there.
She's still there right now. She's in a club with you right now.
Mm-hmm. And while talking about like changing and growing, well, not more so. Like the thing about Lee is like the teachers and those things. Those are like what grew me and like changed me. So, I like talking about like with like Xavier said like how he was dancing. I went and I did karaoke the other day. I was in Florida on the trip, and I went up and I sang in front of everyone. It's just because I was remembering what Mrs. Tsiri told me a long time ago, like about like trying new things, and I don't think like if I, like at the beginning of like when I started like in high school, because when I was in 9th grade, I started clubs and everything. I don't think I would have ever done that. So, and I think about elite, the really great thing is not only like the curriculum, but also the clubs. It makes it like as a whole, you can't really have elite without the clubs as well, I think, because that's where you make like, you meet everyone, those things.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you did that. That's so cool. It's always fun to do karaoke for that very first time. And you're like so petrified. And then you just do it. And you're like, yeah. And then you're like, what did I sing? Yeah. A great job on that. So you lead me to, I'm combining our last two questions. So feel free to jump in. What do you like best about Elite? So
Wait,
you kind of alluded to it.
I didn't
Oh,
answer.
did you want to go?
Yeah, I
Oh,
wanted
go
to
for
go.
it.
I was waiting.
Yeah, go for it.
One skill I definitely learned was fighting temptation, because you're always just a few clicks of your mouse away from YouTube or movie or like games or all of that stuff. Like my desktop, there's like a giant Egyptian pyramid of just games and games that I could just double click on and enjoy. But yeah, it's really fighting the temptation, not getting distracted. I've learned to do that. And sometimes I lose, but at least not as much now.
Well, I think
That's
with
a
elite,
big
you
one.
have.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just again, I know people who like they had to go to like a different school because they're not able to hold themselves accountable. So I think that's really what you learn here. And so it's a lot like college. So I'm taking some classes in like a college, and so I know like when you do go and like out in the real I can't talk, but out in the real world, you have to hold yourself accountable like when you get older and those things. So it is like teaching you now that you do need to hold yourself accountable. So it's really nice because then when you're younger, you're able to learn that and make mistakes. So when you're older, you can hold yourself accountable at workplaces and colleges and those places.
It's an excellent point. Yeah, and being here at Elite, you do have to have that self-discipline and that accountability. And our students really have excelled on that. I've been here, since 2020, and I've seen so many students come through, and they are so ready for that next step, whatever that next step in their life is, because they have that self-discipline and accountability. So yes, thank you for that.
But they also do have support though, or it's like they do have like the support that they need and like just not like over smothering support, but there is support if you want or you need them.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Now I'll jump into that last question. I already have people lined up to answer it too. So what do you like best about Elite, and what do you wish Elite had? Like a different course, club, field trip, and Matthias, you are first.
I already have a few.
I wish that. So we already have an esports club, and I had realized I like gaming a lot, yes, but I realized my favorite thing about gaming, it's teammates, those people who cooperate with you, like good sociality. They know what to do, and I realized I like talking to people way more than I like playing the game. So I wish they had like just like a hangout club.
Great. No,
People
thank
can
you.
talk to each other.
Yeah. No, we appreciate the feedback on that.
Yeah.
And I really like the fact that you said like I like talking to people more than actually gaming. That's really cool because I think social interactions are super important. Natalia is next.
I think what I like most about Elite is probably sorry if this sounds a little bit cheesy, but the friends I made along the way, and how everybody's just so friendly all the time. It's great. And I like all the clubs as well. There's like such a wide variety, and the field trips too. I mean, like last school I went to, we went to like this weird worm farm and some other place, but we got to go to the Mass Scener and a university that has professional gaming, so that's really exciting. And I don't have any critiques really, other than I just want to start a club myself if I ever find the time.
You should. You absolutely should start a club. I'll be your staff sponsor. Go for it. All right. Let's see.
What was the name of the university that had the gaming major?
Oh, the one they went to was UC Irvine.
UC
Okay.
Irvine.
You'll have
Oh.
to email that to me.
Oh, I wanted
It's
to tell you
awesome.
that's the university I'm going to go to.
Is it?
Yeah, it was really fun.
So
Wow.
yeah, I don't
Beautiful
want to.
campus.
Oh, and well, I'll go next since I'm already talking about well, clubs. Of course, clubs are great, and I really do love them. And I think just the only thing I do have to say about clubs is that I think there should be more for younger kids, for like elementary, since a lot of them do require like need to be in high school or middle school. And then my sister's in elementary and she doesn't really have a lot of clubs that she could join or things like that. So I think just having more things for like the younger kids to do, because I do know they have a lot of field trips, those things, but things that could be virtual as well.
Agreed. No, I appreciate your feedback on that. Looking at the chat, looks like Cash was next up to go. Cash, you want to go?
Oh, can you just remind me one more time what the question was?
Sure. What do you like best about Elite, and what is the number one thing you wish we had?
The best thing I like about Elite is like I don't know. There's a lot of good things. I don't know what the best thing is.
That's okay. What's something you wish we had?
Something I wish you guys had was I don't even know. I can't think of anything. It's a good school.
That's okay. No, thank you. Armando in the chat, looks like you're next.
One thing I really like about Elite is it's like the way that they allow you to like create your own clubs and like interact with the other students and have things like esports or digital art design or all this cool stuff. I think it's really cool, and it's like probably the best part about this school. Because like I mean, what other school do you know that is gonna have something like that? And one thing I think the school should include or like have is probably like a streaming club, like we're not like like kind of like an extension of the esports club, but instead of just playing, you play and you stream, so kind of like a mix of podcast and esports, so like it's like actually streaming the gameplay and like talking and having fun and then posting it on YouTube or Twitch or whatever.
Would you mind if I jumped in a little there, Armando? So would it basically be like a gaming YouTube club, like a club so you can like stream?
Exactly. That's what like a club to just stream and game and have fun.
Well, instead of just like that, you could have just a club about streaming completely. You can just talk about like different things to stream. Like people who have YouTube channels, since I do know that some kids at the school do have like YouTube channels, so you could just go there and you guys can talk about it and promote it to each other and talk about ideas about that.
Can I also add something in there too?
You add something and then Xavier's after you. Go for it.
Yeah, I think it's like Discord because it's kind of like you get to stream on there and like go across platforms and stuff, but I'm not sure.
The only thing with Discord, it's not school friendly.
Yeah.
Not at all. Yeah.
Oh,
All right, Xavier.
So I like how Elite is very, very flexible, and I can just make my own schedule. Unlike school, it's just like, okay, so 10 o'clock, you sit down, listen to me, okay? 12 o'clock, okay, time to eat lunch for 30 minutes, but if you don't eat your lunch in 30 minutes, you're gonna have to throw it away. And then recess for 30 minutes. Okay, Okay, 30 minutes is up. You have to come over and come inside now. And then she's like, okay, school ended. Now I can do what I want. But now I have to do schoolwork. And that's like, that could take like 2 hours, 1 hour. And then let's just say school ends at like 2. You have about until 4. And surprise quizzes, yeah. So really, you only have like 2 hours to really do whatever you want. And then you have to eat dinner or whatever, go to bed, unless you have a late bedtime, but that wouldn't really be smart. But yeah, I like how Elite just is like more flexible, and they're not like, okay, this time you have to do this. You can make your own schedule. I mean, still you have to go to classes at a certain time, but you can pretty much make your own schedule.
And even when there are teacher scheduled meetings, you could ask them to reschedule for a later time. Like, oh, sorry, teach, I can't do this. I can't make this meeting. I got something going on.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
forgot
That's
to
what's
lock
so.
my fridge. Now I
Oh,
gotta
you guys
lock my microwave.
you guys
Yeah,
reminded me of
yeah.
And
something.
then, oh, it's okay. I gotta lock my fridge anyways, you know. So it's good to like even just a school that has that kind of that takes that suggestion. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, it is. Oh, you guys reminded me of something because I know we have like you can meet with your teacher one-on-one, which is really amazing because like compared to like if you were in regular school, you wouldn't be able to really meet your teacher because usually at the end of the day, like they're tired, they've been teaching all day, so like they still teach all day here, but like you get to meet with them like a different day that they're not teaching on, like compared to like they would leave like the school fast. Oh, also I really love the teachers because I had the same teachers all high school, so I know them really well, and so it's really nice. And also talking about courses and curriculum at Elite, like Xavier was saying, like you go to school and you learn that and you learn that, but like I'm able to like take my college classes and take my high school classes. I'm working on getting my associate's degree in Spanish, and I get to do that because since I don't go to like a regular school, which I would spend hours at, wasting my time, really instead do so much more.
No, that's awesome. I appreciate all of your comments. Anybody, did I miss anybody? Anybody want to add anything?
Oh, sorry, I talk a
Oh,
lot, but I just
the
wanted to mention.
one-on-ones are nice though. Like when you need them, they are nice.
Anybody
I
else?
also got something. Sorry. I wish there was a animated club meeting, like where you animate like people like to walk and like
Oh, like
drawing
animation club or a
yeah,
drawing club?
animation club.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Maybe like a
Mhm.
movie club or just like a club where you can learn how
A
to
productions club.
direct. A production club. That's actually a really good idea.
That would be
Mhm.
really cool.
And the good thing with Elite is just you think of a club, you want it, you make it. Compared to like
Right.
in a school, you have to
I
go
would
through like
join
this entire like form. Here you just need to. Oh, yes. Oh, I just wanted to mention, I know that Elite, we're not being biased. Elite is a really good school. That's why they even won like California Distinguished School recently. So it is a really good school.
Yes, thank you
No.
for that. Yeah. We actually, our leadership team just went out today to accept that award. So yeah, it's again, not being biased either. I've worked in a number of charter schools in my time. I absolutely love the freedom that we have with our students here at Elite. I think it's fantastic. I love the idea of a production club. I think that'd be really cool. I saw in the chat somebody put I think there's a comic book and anime club. There is. Really cool club. So I believe they're actually producing a comic in that club. So if you're interested in that, check it out. I see Roblox club thrown out there. That would be cool. But the whole point is we want to turn your ideas into reality, and we want to bring you things that you want to do, but you can learn from too. So
Well,
we're actually running out of time, but go ahead.
I just want to say, if anyone wants to create a club, you could just come to me and I'll help you with it.
There we go.
Like, it's not that bad. It's kind of easy just once you get it off the ground, everything. But then also, the anime club, yes, they're making their own anime right now, which is really,
Yeah, I
really
can
amazing.
confirm. I'm
Mhm.
one of the members, and I'm actually writing the story of the comic.
We're both screenwriters for it, so it's really
That's
amazing.
awesome. Oh, I can't wait to see how that turns out. And I see Natalia wants to start an Overwatch club. So there you go, Cindy Lou. You gotta help her start an Overwatch club.
Yes. And Natalia, I'll be your member as well.
She took off. She ran to go find you. She's like, let's go start the club. Oh, there she is. She's back.
Sorry, my cat was throwing up on my bed.
I know how that is. No, dang it. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw up.
It's one of the joys of
Sorry,
having
guys.
pets.
Well, if you're busy to make a club, you could always just bring up like that you want a club like this, and then you could have like a teacher run it and make it, and then you could come, like, you don't have to lead it. You can have someone else lead it for you, or just like bring up the idea to attention.
I
Right.
feel like if I got a club idea, I would want to lead it.
And you can, but I would definitely recommend reaching out to Cindy Lou because she actually has done this quite a few times. She started quite a few clubs here at Elite, and they're fantastic clubs. So, again, just one of the ideas out there. Feel free to connect with her. But thank you so much for all of the insight today, because our students, you're the reason we're here. We want to help you. We want to see you grow. I always tell people the best thing in the world is if I see a student that graduated in like 3-4 years down the road, I run across them and they tell me what they're doing in their lives. That's the best thing. That's better than a paycheck. I love being able to see what you accomplish in your life. So thank you so much for your insight. I just want to remind everybody, go subscribe to Elite Academic Academy on YouTube to receive notifications for new podcast episodes. I want to thank our fantastic podcast team. You have been amazing. I look forward to many, many more episodes with you. And I see somebody put a drama club. I did 4 years of drama club in high school. So yeah, you should do that. That would be a lot of fun. All right. Well, that's all we have. Thank you so much. I will see everybody later. Signing off for the Be Elite podcast. This is Mr. Smith. Thank you.